How do xenomorphs perceive the world around them? They don't have eyes, at least not on the outside of that long curved dome. And yet, they are able to move with terrifying speed and precision through any kind of environment. The creature that was chosen to represent the alien by Ridley Scott, a biomechanoid from H.R. Giger's Necronomicon, would have large oval-shaped insect-like eyes, and so would one of Giger's initial concepts that were based on it. But it was decided that a creature without eyes, that is driven by instinct alone, would be far more frightening. So Giger's second attempt would make use of the blackened dome with little to no translucency that was featured on other biomechanoids from his Necronomicon works, that had similarly elongated heads. Upon construction of the alien's suit, the dome would be more transparent, allowing Giger to add details underneath it, like a human skull, though its eye sockets were empty, and the skulls are either absent or covered up on other xenomorphs like the ones seen in Aliens. So how do they see or navigate their surroundings? In their initial stage, according to the Aliens Colonial Marines Technical Manual, the ovomorphs detect nearby hosts using a simple nervous system located at their base, linked to a web of thermo and pressure-sensitive veins on the egg's outer surface, while their root system could indicate a sensor matrix, triggered by thermal, pressure, bioelectric, you name it. They may even be able to taste the potential host at a distance in order to know if they are suitable with a sense like a snake's tongue. Once triggered, the egg aligns the facehugger to strike, and in most cases, the host is within range. But we have seen facehuggers actively pursue hosts when needed. Dissections at Hadley's Hope and on the Nostromo found no evidence of eyes. And in Alien Romulus, it's revealed that facehuggers can detect heat signatures. And when people match their body temperature to the environment, the creatures lost track of them. So if the carriers, the ovomorphs and the facehuggers can see without eyes, what about the adult xenomorph? In the technical manual, they admit that they know very little about the perception of the adult alien, and theorize that optical is possible, though it's likely to be monocular, in which case it either isn't reliant on sight or uses some other senses for measuring distance. That could be ultrasound or simply good hearing. Having a long head case would suggest that it might have audio sensors at the front and back ends. If those are duplicated left and right, it would have quadraphonic hearing and hyper-accurate ranging capabilities. In Alien 3, we get that memorable fisheye lens perspective as the creature tears through the facility on Fury 161. But that seems more like a stylistic choice, showing us what it's like to move like a xenomorph and not necessarily what they see. In Alien Covenant, we again see from the alien's point of view, but this time there's a murky filter or some kind of semi-translucent membrane with worms or veins that move about on it. Since Ridley Scott, at the time of making Covenant, saw the creature as an early form of the xenomorph, this could hint at how they perceive the world. When David was making his version of the alien, he designed the elongated skull to house specialized sensory organs capable of wide-spectrum cranial sensing, noting that the humanoid orbits could be better served as thermal pits, while the brain pan should be extended to allow for a broad-spectrum reflector reception area. These notes, detailed in the David's Drawings art book, would also mention a dorsal alignment for sensory reception. While intensity is concentrated towards the front as shown in A with ocular and frontal areas overlapping, there's still coverage diminishing to B and then C. Extension is suggested at the rear shown at D to evolve with overall growth and full spectrum effectiveness on maturation. It even suggests that the dorsal pipe or spines are an effective defense for the spectral blind spot at the organism's rear. In an interview with AVP Galaxy, artist Matt Hatton, who worked on David's drawings with Dane Hallett, said that the alien had no eyes and that it relied on thermal signatures. So fire would do more than just burn it. It would blind it and overwhelm its senses. In Alan Dean Foster's novelization of Alien, Ash believes that the creature is able to sense electrical impulses like a shark, and that a creature so obviously resourceful is likely utilizing many senses and tracking. And in Alien Isolation, there's a part where the xenomorph becomes fixated on a blinking green airlock light, mirroring a moment from an early script and the novelization where the alien was mesmerized by a pulsating green light. Going a bit further into the expanded universe, there's even more evidence of the alien using a combination of senses for perception. In the Dark Horse comic Aliens Labyrinth, Dr. Church discovers that the aliens can literally smell fear, and that it excites and drives them forward. And in Dark Horse's Aliens Hive, a synthetic alien is built and made to function like a xenomorph, and as such, it's noted that its eyeless face cared nothing for specialized perceptions, and instead relies on the old senses: vibration, electricity, and fear. Hive would also feature inhibitors that would make the wearers invisible to the aliens. They are charged with xenomorph royal jelly, and through some unknown manipulation of pheromones, produce an effective dampening field of approximately 3 meters in all directions. In Marvel's Alien Paradiso, xenomorph chestbursters and adults are able to perceive the world in great detail. There's an electric-like signal that resonates from all objects, living or not, with different colors that distinguish between humans, synthetics, and their own kind, through what looks like an enhanced sensory filter. Pheromone and scent trails lead directly to fleeing victims, and blood is displayed in its natural yet saturated color for easy tracking, or simply to be visible to the reader of the comic. The core rulebook of the Alien role-playing game says that allegedly, xenomorphs are blind, but it also states that they can detect even the slightest of movements. And in the AVP video games, aliens can see in low light conditions, while also being able to track predators and colonial marines by scent and pheromones through walls and other obstacles. Looking back to Alien 3, that first-person alien POV was one of the few things that I loved about the film when it hit theaters. My appreciation for the movie has grown over time, especially with the alternate cuts. But I never quite believed that this was the creature's literal vision. Same with Alien Covenant, a cool visual effect, but more stylistic than scientific. If I had to pick my favorite view, or what I believe is the most believable version of a xenomorph's perception, it would be the one from Paradiso. The colors may be a bit too bold, but I think it does the best at incorporating multiple senses into a unified perception of the world. What is your favorite representation of the alien's vision? Thanks for watching, take care, and I hope to see you next time.